6, a federal judge has upheld a $360,000 judgment against former Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. A jury ruled last year that Davis had to pay a same-sex couple and their attorneys for refusing to issue a marriage license to the couple in 2015. Davis later asked the judge to set aside that verdict. But the Herald-Leader reports the judge has upheld the jury's decision, saying the plaintiffs demonstrated clear evidence of emotional harm caused by Davis's actions. Her attorneys say they will appeal, and they want the U.S. Supreme Court to eventually consider the case.